You are listening to I Am Refocused Radio with your host, Shamaya Reed. This show is designed to inspire you to live your purpose and regain your focus. And now, here's your host, Shamaya Reed.
Hey, welcome to I Am Refocused Radio. We are here once again. Today, we have another special guest. We're going to talk today to MSNBC anchor and trial lawyer Katie Phang. She's the host and podcast of Class Action. And this is all about the next generation of amazing lawyers who are going to really get the works, if I can say that. So good morning to you, Miss Katie. How you doing?
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here and an honor, actually, to start my week off with you.
Thank you for that. And this is a awesome podcast because it's a new documentary series about the next generation of lawyers. And tell us a little bit about this amazing 12-part podcast series and what it's all about.
Well, Class Action is this exceptional journey where you get to be introduced to a wide variety of personalities. It's not just the competitors, which are law school students, as well as some undergraduate students, but you also get to meet their coaches. You get to actually be introduced and hear some inside baseball with real practicing trial lawyers or those that have now gone on to exceptionally successful careers, but they all were grounded and started with the foundation of being trial lawyers. And that includes people like former United States Attorney for the Southern District of New York, Preet Bharara, as well as one of the, former federal prosecutors, Ellie Honig. I mean, you've got these people that are basically telling you, for me to get where I am, I ended up being, a trial lawyer. But to become a trial lawyer, I had to go through and learn the basics. And so Class Action really follows the evolution of some of these competitors. And it also shows the world, kind of like you pull the curtains, aside and apart, and you get to see what these competitions are like. It is a whole other world. And a lot of people don't know what's going on behind the scenes. And so it was a really neat thing to do. I personally loved doing mock trial competitions in law school. It made me want to be a prosecutor, which I spent just under half of my career as a trial lawyer was spent as a prosecutor. And so I really loved the idea of being a part of this series.
In meeting with the trial students and coaches, producers Lisa Gray and Kevin Hoffman, they also spent a year recording these boot camps. Y'all had scrimmages and everything like that. How important was that for the whole process and having that behind the scenes look with the students?
I mean, that's really, how's that phrase? That's how you get to see how the sausage is made. I mean, you really got to see how some of these competitors started at a certain level and the evolution of them honing their craft, the fact that they learned certain skills. And if you think it's not relevant to you as just a layperson who doesn't maybe practice law or, doesn't really know a lot about it, you got another thing coming, because what they learned through the scrimmages, what they learned through these boot camps is that they learned how to be persuasive speakers. They learned how to be advocates. And frankly, Shamaya, we could all be advocates day in and day out in our lives. And so it was really neat for them to learn how to do things, not just why, but the how. And it ended up being this great introduction. And again, this evolution of a skill set that they thought maybe they had, but they didn't realize the full potential of until they went through the scrimmages, the boot camps, the competitions.
How important is it for the people who are listening to this who may be inspired to join this movement as well, as far as pursuing that career?
Well, it's amazing to see how varied and diverse the backgrounds are of the students who became interested in doing mock trials. And then it's also amazing to hear where their plans are for their future, where they want to go, what they want to do. As somebody who's been in the legal field for decades, to be able to meet these young minds that are so motivated was inspiring. I think it's so hard these days, Shamaya, to not be jaded, to not feel like you've seen it all, you've heard it all, and is there really something new on the horizon? And to have this bright, incredibly motivated, ambitious, and truly driven by doing the right thing group of next-gen lawyers or lawyers to be, I mean, you can't ask for anything better than that. And it's not just because I'm a lawyer, and it's not just because this is what I've done or I've done for years. It's because you think and you know that they're going to bring a brighter future for all of us. They're going to be people that are going to fight for justice on both sides of the aisle. They're going to make sure that the right thing is done. And the way that that's going to happen, that mechanism, is because they know how a trial should look like. They know what it should sound like. They know what it should be. And that really does make a difference. That moves the needle when you want to make sure that you as a litigant have the right representation, or you just as a person who knows that that judicial system exists, you want to make sure it's running properly. And that's exactly what this next gen of lawyers or lawyers to be is doing.
Once again, it's a true honor talking this morning to MSNBC anchor and trial lawyer Katie Phang, host of podcast Class Action. You can catch this on iHeartRadio and iHeartMedia. I want to say thank you once again this morning for taking time in your busy schedule talking to us today.
It was my pleasure. You guys all take care.